Woo, woo, woo. It's your girl Leslie, and well, sometimes you make plans and they just don't go as you intended. Coming up, more on that. Welp, we fucked up. We recorded a whole episode and it didn't actually record. So we had a very thorough and convincing practice run of next week's episode. So, Ramel is out of town, so it's just your girl Leslie today. I don't know what else to say. I am not happy about this because it was a really good episode. I feel like next week's episode should be, this was probably the greatest episode in the world, and next episode is going to have to be the greatest episode in the world tribute, like Tenacious D, because we couldn't remember the greatest episode in the world. So, our loss, I guess. Your loss, really. I'm sorry. Things happen. But because I am not happy at all that whole episode is gone, me, by myself, Leslie, are going to tell you 5 things that make me blissfully happy. And I hope that you agree with some of these, because there's some very good choices up here, and that you think are your own things that make you happy, because sometimes shit just doesn't work out the way that you planned, and there's nothing you can do except roll with the punches, and you can be down about it, or you can think about things that make you happy and record an episode by yourself without your bestie, even though it's hella scary, but it's okay. You got this. So, these are in no particular order. But I love, on a Sunday night, getting in bed with clean sheets and freshly shaved legs. I get in and do my legs kind of scissory, when you go to a hotel and you get in for the first time. That feeling, it's so good. So nice. It makes the Sunday blues worth it if you get clean sheets. And ooh, my mom got me and my husband some of that Buff City soap in Narcissist. Oh my god, that stuff smells so good. It smells so good. I love it. So yeah, clean sheets with, if we're getting specific, Narcissist soap from Buff City Soaps. I've never actually been there. I've just was gifted it, and I loved it. That soap and freshly shaved legs. Speaking of shaved legs, I started using the Billy razor, and that thing is really nice too. So, ladies, if you need a new razor, check out the Billy razor. It's very nice. Moving on. I love also when it's not this hot. It's hot right now in Texas. I was actually just watching a news thing. The July 4th, 5th, and 6th have historically been the literal hottest days recorded on Earth. Current times. Who knows? Recorded. So yeah, it's hot. But maybe an April or May shower, storm rolling in, a big one where you can kind of feel it, and it's kind of hot, and it's building up, and you see the clouds, and then especially if it's kind of at dusk and it's all nighttime, and not we have really beautiful sunsets here in Texas. So if the sky's all pretty with a storm rolling in, and you can feel the wind, and when the storm hits and you hear the rain hit the pavement and it makes that smell, that's some good shit right there. So that's my number 2 of things that make me blissfully happy. I also love The moment, all right, this is a good one. The moment between finding out some real juicy, juicy gossip and the time you get to tell the person who wants to hear it the most. I love the anticipation of what their reaction is going to be. First of all, I love gossip, which is why we have this podcast, and not in like in a bad way. Like, I'm not like talking mean about people, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. But yeah, the moment between finding out a good old piece of tea and the moment you get to tell somebody about it. I'm making the Italian face, but you can't see me. But I'm doing the Italian fingers. That's a nice feeling. All right, so we've done fresh sheets with fresh shaved legs, number 1. Storm rolling, number 2. Juicy, juicy gossip and getting to spill it, number 3. And then I am a sucker for number 4 is making something really tasty. Like, I kind of hit it out of the park tonight with some steak and potatoes and some green beans. They were delicious. But to me, there's no better feeling in the world. Not no better feeling, but it's up there. Is as making something like a cake for somebody for their birthday. Ugh, that's a good feeling. I had a whole friendship. My friend Brad, shout out Brad Lowe, our whole friendship, because we worked at Papa John's together and back in the day, and it was his birthday, and he told me nobody had ever made him a cake for his birthday. So I naturally rushed home and made a cake and took it up to work, and we were friends ever since. Sadly, like a year ago, he passed away with some liver stuff. But yeah, Brad was a great friend. And food, man, some good food, like that can make friendships. I mean, people have had whole ass marriages based on like cooking good food, or careers. It's just a real nice feeling cooking something for somebody and then you telling you that it was really good. So my dad's really good at that. He did all the food for my wedding. He made a etouffee. It was so good. My dad's a great cook. I don't even remember everything we had at our wedding at this moment because that was a blissfully perfect day. But anyways, food, cooking, great. It's a good feeling. Then my number 1 thing that makes me blissfully happy, like I'm talking, there is never a time where I don't not want this to happen in front of me. And if it happened in real life, I think I would freak out. But watching Paul Rudd dance, that man dances with zero inhibition and no shame in his game. He is so wiggly and hilarious. And there's Paul Rudd. I tore my my calf muscle trying to dance like Paul Rudd in the 40-year-old version. Because now here's a little story for you guys. My dad and stepmom used to own a restaurant in downtown Plano, Texas. And I was working there, and during break, Age of Aquarius came on. And so naturally, I felt the need to dance like Paul Rudd at the end of 40-year-old virgin. Well, I jumped up and did like a little spinny kick dance. And yeah, I felt a pop, and it was my calf muscle. And that was very painful and not something that I recommend. But Paul Rudd dance, just anything Paul Rudd, really. He's just Paul Rudd from Clueless. Like, ever since Clueless, I've been a fan. Like, that's my whole, like, almost remembering life of, like, having those kind of memories. But yeah, Paul Rudd dancing. The Teeny Weeny Meeny, classic. Anything with Jimmy Fallon is just good stuff. So there you go. That's 5 things that make me blissfully happy, because I am very unhappy that we got by ourselves and our microphones. I feel like there's going to be a point in everything like this where you're like, oh my God, we thought we recorded and we didn't. But typically it wouldn't happen when your other half is out having fun with their fam. And you know what? Shit happens. So when you mess up and there's nothing you can do, figure it out and make it work and learn your lesson. And think about something that makes you happy. And be proud of yourself for talking by yourself for 10 minutes to strangers. I know that is highly specific to me. But, you know, I've never done this without Ramel. So who knows how many of y'all could be listening at this point. But I hope it's a lot. So you guys have a good week. We will be back next week with a regular episode. When things go wrong, figure it out. You got this. Don't stress. Don't worry. Think about things that make you happy and just power through. You got this. We believe in you. So y'all have a good week. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and follow your girl Ramel the Realtor on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok also. We say Twitter, but I think that we are giving up on Twitter. That's just not our jam. So, you know, it's okay. To each their own. You guys have a great week. We'll see you next week, and woo woo woo.
Woo woo woo.